Hey, welcome back to Secondhand Sports. I'm David DK Kim with Paulo Camacho as always. And today we're going to be doing a little WWE SummerSlam 2018 predictions based on what the card is right now. I guess we'll just dive right into it here.
Yeah, sure.
Are you excited for SummerSlam, by the way?
Yes, I am.
I'm also excited for SummerSlam. It's one of the few things in August, like sports-wise or entertainment-wise, that is really worth watching.
It's one of the big four. I mean, honestly, like that's kind of why you tune in, even as a casual,
or even a non-fan. Because
yeah.
I've had plenty of people sit down and tell me that they've watched, Survivor Series or Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, and that's, not a non-football fan sitting down at Super Bowl and being like, oh, I guess I'll watch this for once,
Exactly. You want to watch it for the spectacle of it, most likely. But, some of the matches should actually turn out to be really good ones, I would think. So you want to dive in with...
Yeah, so we're going to start with the kickoff match that's been scheduled. It's Rusev and Lana versus Andre Almas, and Zelina Vega. That's weird. I haven't read about this at all.
Yeah. I have been following Lana, though, and her, record of futility, because apparently, she's trying her best, but at the end of the day, well, I guess apparently Aiden English isn't helping her out. Like he's messing with Lana, unintentionally or intentionally. I'm actually not sure. So
I have to say, based on who is fighting who, and in my opinion, I feel like Rusev can absorb this loss, or let's be honest, he could go on a year-long losing streak and it'd be fine as long as Rusev Day still lived on and he wasn't a heel. But anyway, based on who's fighting who and where they are in their careers on the main roster, I have to say that Andre Almas and Zelina Vega win, let's say via Aiden English failed help, and then that leads to maybe a Rusev Aiden English feud, which that could be iffy because that could mean Rusev Day's going away. But I feel like Rusev and Lana lose via somehow Aiden English.
Yeah, I'd say. Okay, I'll just say this: the winner of this match will determine how fast Rusev and Aiden English happen. Rusev versus Aiden English happen. Because if it happens to be Rusev and Lana, I feel like then they'll push that match back.
Yeah. I mean, wrestling is so predictable that it does depend on who wins.
Right.
But
if Almas and Vega win, which I think will happen, I think that's going to happen. Rusev and Aiden English as a partnership, and right then and there. They're gonna have at it after the match, and then Aiden English says, I think it's gonna happen.
That is way too cut and dry for Mr. Ambiguity Vince McMahon. Like, he wants you to buy those, buy the merch, as they say, so a clean cut finish like that, there's no reason to watch whatever in between thing they're gonna do, after WrestleMania, but before Royal Rumble.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, you have a Rusev versus Aiden English feud, and honestly, you could go either way with that. Either you end their friendship completely, or they just have a fight, and then they forgive each other, after it's over. Like, say, Sasha and Bayley.
I like how the person that was arguing with me 3 weeks ago that, it's ridiculous that wrestlers, get fooled over and over again, just literally told me that they could feud just to fight, and then they'll be fine. Just like normal people, right? Just like normal people. They get fooled by... Anyway, oh my god, if that happens, if they fight, and it's just you think they're going to break up, and then they go, whoop, no, we're just going to hug it out at the end... That's going to be so ridiculous. It's the kickoff, so maybe.
I wouldn't put it past them, though.
If it's the kickoff, so maybe.
Maybe.
I know. Anyway, almost in Vega for me.
Yeah, almost in Vega for me, too.
All right. We're gonna remember this, I think. We should only write down the ones that we disagree on, I think.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So the next match is Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. I'll admit, I didn't know that this is going to happen. I'm actually kind of surprised that they finally pulled the trigger on this match.
With like a week and a half left.
Yeah, I know. It's look, again, I don't know how long this buildup has been happening, but it didn't seem like very long.
So, we were talking about this before we started recording this episode. And I don't know if this is like what I predict, or what I hope, or what I would do if I was a WWE creative writer, but it's going to be somewhere in between all those three things. I think The Miz wins. You know, obviously not cleanly, obviously not definitively, but I feel like The Miz wins this one. And then, I'm just going to go all the way here with this.
Go ahead.
And then they're going to get to Royal Rumble, and I feel like Daniel Bryan is going to enter one or two, whichever one. And then The Miz is going to enter at the back half, if not 30th or whatever the last one is. And then after, Daniel Bryan, beats his own record or whatever it was, from Saudi Arabia, Miz once again eliminates him in a Miz way to earn the right to face the WWE champion, whoever, at WrestleMania. And in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, Daniel Bryan beats a newly crowned champion in Samoa Joe.
Okay.
We'll get to that later.
All right.
And then he beats him, and then Daniel Bryan and Miz get to WrestleMania, and then I'm not going where you think I'm going. The Miz wins to break all of our hearts in the most nefarious way possible, maybe paying off the ref or the Earl Hebner twin switch, something that nefarious. And then for the whole next year, till the next WrestleMania, Daniel Bryan chases, and we pay tons of money to watch him do it. And he wins the title at WrestleMania, giving him his moment that he will have a reign without any, knock on wood, injury or anything like that. Which would be brilliant! But that probably won't happen, and then Daniel Bryan will probably win here unceremoniously. We'll never hear from it again. But that's what I think should happen.
See, that's the thing.
So I predict The Miz.
So, first time he told me this, I was like, I don't know. I kind of don't want to, but it would actually be the perfect way to do this. Like, I can't really think of anything other than that would be more perfect to really spell out this Daniel Bryan-Miz feud. Because, personally, I want to see The Miz win this too. I want to see The Miz win this match. So then it again paints Daniel Bryan as the underdog, and I actually want that to set up a champion, an underdog storyline with I know
how to do it exactly like you're just saying too.
Okay,
Stephanie helps, or Paige helps, and behind Paige's help has been the one man that's always told Daniel Bryan he wasn't good enough, he wasn't big enough. I believe that's Triple H in a suit now.
Oh man!
Come on, we would all be behind that.
Yeah, I think
we hate you, Triple H. Oh, what a corporate stooge you are, Miz. Wait, does this sound familiar? Oh wait, Vince McMahon, The Rock, betraying Mick Foley. Watch out, guys. All your favorite things have been done before.
See, that's the thing.
All done before.
You just brought in another element to your storyline that I can't argue with. It might have sealed the deal for me because, like, I was about to say, I would actually like to see Miz versus AJ at some point for the championship. Maybe at next year's WrestleMania. But I like any storyline that you could come up with to set that up pales in comparison to what he just said. So, in any case, I'm going with The Miz.
We've agreed twice now.
I know.
That's rarely ever happened in a prediction.
It's weird. But there you go. Let's move on to Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin.
To the feud I told you that wasn't over when we were watching Extreme Rules. For what reason? They don't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah.
And you can tell by the way that they've pushed this feud.
Oh my god.
It's the rubber match. I don't know if it's a split series or if one person's already won two. I'm guessing it's a split series because it's called the rubber match, which indicates, that one person has won.
That's usually what that means.
Finn Balor's got to win. I'm not going to even make a prediction. Finn Balor's got to win. This one, because if I'm going to predict, it's going to be Baron Corbin. Because he wants me to call him his name, but I'm just not going to.
Constable?
No.
Wait. So your prediction is Finn, or is it Corbin?
See, I hate being wrong, so I'm gonna say Baron Corbin.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Finn then.
It's the first disagreement we have.
Yeah, because you know what? I think. Look, Baron Corbin's gonna take his Constable Corbin, or whatever you want to call him. He's gonna take his lumps. I really think he's still in the doghouse, and this would be a good mid-card feud to blow off and put it in Finn's favor, because I think a lot of people still wanted to see a Finn Balor push. They teased it with the Royal Rumble. They teased it when he was, the fourth to last eliminated.
They didn't tease nothing. They were like, we're going to give you a little bit. We're going to show you that we can give you a little bit. We're not going to get it. Fourth.
I don't know. I'm going to say, look, this is probably, this is just the optimist in me. Hoping against hope that Finn's gimmick with the LGBTQ community and all that positivity and all that other stuff I guess if they're gonna pay off the storyline in that way, then sure, I could see them having Finn Balor win. But barring him walking down the runway in the LGBTQ colors again, I don't think they let him win. And I don't know why at this point he keeps losing and/or is on the undercard of the undercard of the undercard. But I haven't seen him wrestle past the first 3 matches in a year, maybe a year and a half. Maybe that just means there's a lot of talent out there, and that we know how misuse WWE has of some talent, but. Who knows? Maybe, whoever wins, I think maybe they're on the way up. I hope. Yeah.
Anyway, I say Baron Corbin, and you say Finn.
I'll say Finn. All right, moving on.
This is gonna be interesting.
Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens.
And the stipulation in this one is, if Strowman loses, no matter how that may happen, he will lose the Money in the Bank contract.
Well, that just tells you he's losing the Money in the Bank contract, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh. No. I mean, the only reason that Strowman would lose the contract is if at this point WWE is recognizing and admitting that they don't know how that he's going to cash in and not have it be like, oh, well, he's going to win because he's Braun Strowman. And they've portrayed him every week as someone that can't lose in that type of situation where 2 guys are already beat up and he's coming in fresh. It should be a squash and over.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're admitting that, all right, Kevin Owens wins some nefarious fashion. Kevin Owens cashes in later. Braun Strowman ruins his chance, and then that's how they resolve the Money in the Bank, which is weak, but that's what happens when you don't have a plan sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think they put that stipulation in there so that people will still be like, I wonder if he's going to win or lose. Because without that stipulation, you can't tell me that anyone believes that Braun Strowman's going to lose. You know what I mean? Or not physically win the match, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
The win-loss ledger, whatever. This is about, beating up of Kevin Owens.
Okay. All right. As a counterpoint to that, I could see one scenario which that could be the case. And that's if again, a lot's got to happen in order for this scenario to happen. But let's say Roman Reigns turns heel, wins the championship wins the Universal title from Brock Lesnar, and he's got the title for a little while. Okay, all right. So like he defends his title against Brock, and then he wins again through nefarious means, Paul Heyman like, and then he looks really tired. Here comes Braun Strowman coming in to cash in his Money in the Bank contract, and Roman's just, oh no, he's gonna get me. It's like, don't let this happen. He's gonna try, act like a heel actually, but then he cashes in the title, cashes in the briefcase, and then they ring the bell. Here comes Braun, and then is that Dean Ambrose? Boom, low blow, like disqualification. Blah blah blah. He wins by disqualification, and whatever. And then you got a heel, Dean Ambrose helping out a heel, Roman Reigns, and then you got Braun chasing the title.
All right. So wait, did you say that he beats Kevin Owens then?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like trying to follow where you were going, and I was like, wait, what happened to Kevin Owens?
No.
Okay,
I'm
no,
sorry.
Okay.
I was going with the assumption that Braun was going to keep the briefcase.
And then now
that was the scenario.
Now it's a 2/3 heel Shield, and then kind of like Seth Rollins has like options. I guess, but if they were gonna do that, I feel like they would have saved it for WrestleMania or like.
No, SummerSlam is good enough because Dean Ambrose is scheduled to come back any day now.
Is he?
Yeah.
I would think that they would debut him with this on the Seth and Dolph Ziggler match.
They could, but I
can see that. Anyway, I can see what you're saying though.
Right.
Having said all that, I believe that. Wow, to me, Braun doesn't need the Money in the Bank contract.
I think he does.
And neither does Kevin Owens. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, what I feel like is going to happen is Kevin Owens is going to win initially because of something like, say, Sami Zayn or some kind of way in which
some garbage
where Braun gets disqualified.
Right.
And then he's on Raw, right? So Kurt Angle will come out as Kevin Owens is celebrating and be like no, you're not going to weasel your way out of this one. And then restart the match, and then while Kevin Owens is arguing, Braun Strowman's going to hit whatever he hits and pin him. So it's going to be like they're going to give us both, right? Where, oh, he lost! And then, no, and then Braun's going to win. So, and even though it's going to be a short, kind of almost squashy type of match, it'll be okay, in my opinion. So okay. I think Braun wins and retains his Money in the Bank contract.
Okay. All right.
Well, and you're saying you think Braun wins as well?
I think Braun wins as well. So
Either WWE has done a good job of turning me and Paulo into the same thinking brain of wrestling, or it really is kind of predictable as to where they have to go leading up to WrestleMania. Anyway.
All right, so up next, we have Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight title.
It's funny, because I was talking in another episode about how Drew Gulak and Cedric Alexander, when you were talking about it, could be Paul Heyman guys if they... Anyway, I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I don't watch 205 Live, and I guess I'm a little embarrassed to say that because I'm a big wrestling fan. But at the same time, I just don't, and, oh well. But based on what I know of the two guys, I would say that Cedric Alexander is going to win, because I know that the Cruiserweight Championship hasn't had much stability in the last couple of years, so I feel like maybe WWE wants that kind of recognition from the fans that this championship's an actual thing to respect and revere, and not like something like hot potato, like a hardcore championship where falls count anywhere, and in one episode, like, the title changed hands like 10 times or something, you know?
Right. But the way I understand it is Cedric Alexander has held that title for a while now.
Oh, really?
Or at least I think he has, because I'm pretty sure he won it at. Oh, actually, no, he won it at WrestleMania, which is 4 months. I mean, that's a while. I don't know what this program really looks like. So I'm just gonna go contrarian here and go with Drew Gulak, just to give.
We can't have 99% agreeing. That's
exactly.
That's just boring internet.
Exactly. So I'll go with Gulak in this case because
Is Drake Maverick the new?
He's the GM.
GM or okay.
He's the GM. But yeah, I think just for the sake of not necessarily change, but just to liven up the roster and everything. Just see what happens. All right, what if we put the belt on Gulak, and how does the audience think about that? I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Okay, so
I forget. I guess Cedric Alexander.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
Okay, so up next, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship between the Bludgeon Brothers and the New Day.
So I have two theories on this. The first theory is what I feel like is actually going to happen. The Bludgeon Brothers are going to win. Let's get that out of the way. But what I think is going to happen is Sanity is going to cost New Day, because in the last couple weeks, New Day had to beat Sanity and the Bar to get to this point. And Sanity is more than 2 people anyway.
They got 3 or 4.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And New Day, I mean, we've always talked about, maybe not here, but like just in the wrestling community, I'm sure we all talked about, how do you utilize someone like New Day with 3 members, maybe going against Sanity and or back in the day, the Shield, things like that are the way to go. I think Sanity costs them a title. That feud starts, and because of the introduction of the Bar also tries to cost maybe the Bludgeon Brothers their title a little bit or whatever. So I think all 4 are going to be in the mix at the end of this match. But I think the Bludgeon Brothers win, and then the feuds that come out of it are Sanity versus the New Day, and then the Bar going up against the Bludgeon Brothers heading into WrestleMania for the titles.
You said exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah?
Honestly. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I think the Bludgeon Brothers will win this. Sanity probably will cost the New Day. I mean, like, even though that, they had to beat Sanity to get here, like, that might throw a wrench into things. At the end of the day, it would just make sense for the New Kids on the Block to take on one of the most established Freebird tag teams in WWE. Maybe in the history of the WWE.
I like how that sentence referenced both music and wrestling at the same time.
But
anyway, for those that are too young, don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're
Google NKOTB and Freebirds.
Exactly.
That's your homework for the day. Anyway.
All right, let's move on.
I picked Bludgeon Brothers.
Okay. And I also picked the Bludgeon Brothers.
Okay. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy U.S. Championship. Shinsuke is a champion. I don't see any reason why Jeff Hardy would win. I say Shinsuke, and I say out of all the matches we just named, this is gonna be one of the shorter ones.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I agree, but it's not that I don't see any reason why Jeff Hardy would win, because I can see a reason why Jeff Hardy would win. I would see a pressing reason why he would lose, though, and that might be just to push him out of, not only push him out of the U.S. title picture, but maybe inch him closer towards a Brother Nero type of deal. And I don't know if that's a thing, especially since his brother is, on his way out.
I also think it might be like he needs a break and like rest his body too. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, I mean, okay, so maybe a Brother Nero thing could happen somewhere down the line. It just wouldn't be on screen. Like, he takes a big break, comes back as Brother Nero.
Yeah, comes back at the compound instead of at the arena.
Exactly.
But anyway, I think Shinsuke wins.
Yeah, me too.
And then I think Orton tries to interfere or something, and that's the next.
Then yeah, you can set that up because man, Shinsuke, like even as a heel, he deserves this kind. He deserves the kind of run of having a championship. So let's see it. All right, Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental title. Dolph Ziggler is your champion. For some reason, Seth is getting another rematch.
And from my understanding, it's a normal match. There's no stipulations involved.
Even though we're still a week away, and that will probably change come Monday night. So
Probably.
we'll see. Yeah. What do you think?
I think. I don't know. I honestly think that Dolph Ziggler is going to retain the championship. Drew McIntyre is going to almost cost him the title. And I think we're going to finally see the Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre heel versus heel feud in which the WWE forces their fans to cheer for one of them.
So where does Seth go from there?
I believe he loses not because of Drew McIntyre, but because of Dean Ambrose. And then that feud can start.
Okay.
And
that would be a very compelling feud.
And I could justify not knowing why Dean Ambrose attacked, because then I would watch Raw the next day in hopes that he shows up and tells me.
I like that outcome, but I want it switched. I'm going with Seth Rollins to win the Intercontinental title back. For no other reason than, you know what? Drew McIntyre is going to finally cost Ziggler the title. Like, he's really not, like, he screws up, and then that's how you start their feud.
No.
Then once he wins it, after he's in the ring, oh my god, I got my belt back, that's when Dean Ambrose comes in.
And the only reason I would disagree with you on that is marketing standpoint of all four of those guys. No one cares about Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre unless one of them has a title. Whereas Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose could wrestle for like 100 years and people would still watch that pay-per-view because it's Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, and they're great workers. And the other two are great workers as well. But they're underrated great workers who we don't value as much, I think, in the universe. So that's the only reason I feel like that he retains.
I see.
Because if they all four of them were on equal standing in the eyes of the WWE Universe, I'd say, yeah, you're right. Seth Rollins gets the title based on exactly what I just said and you said, and the feud start that way. But there's more at stake with a championless feud that involves Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler.
I see what you mean.
That's
yeah.
just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not changing. I'm going with Seth, and he's going with Dolph. So, you want to move on?
Yep.
So
you write that down. As he's writing that down, the next match is going to be a triple threat SmackDown Women's Championship match. The champion being Carmella versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. It says here, since I didn't really keep up with this feud, Becky Lynch needed to defeat the champion in a non-title bout to earn this title bout, and she did just that. The next week, Charlotte returned and was given a similar opportunity. She too won her way into the match. The big tease is the tension in the relationship between T-Generation X. Please don't tell me that Carmella and Ellsworth are called T-Generation X.
they're referring to Becky and Charlotte.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Good.
I have been following this feud,
Good.
and I have been following the.
Stop saying good now.
Yeah,
I think.
okay. You're fine.
All right.
Okay, so I have been following all of this, and this whole thing is honestly like when they say that they're teasing tension in T-Generation X, they might be teasing an all-out heel turn for Becky Lynch, because I'm not sure that they're ready to turn Charlotte back heel.
Does
but
she
the
have
fact,
it in her?
I know that's the thing.
Well, I mean, no, I guess Bayley never really turned heel, just aggressive.
I mean,
anyway.
But again, think about it like this: Charlotte is working well as a face, and especially if she's chasing the championship, whether that be against somebody like Carmella, whatever. But Carmella's a good heel champ in her own right. Anyway, the thought here is, they've had T Generation X have had so much harmony together, but Becky was adamant against Charlotte getting the title shot, and it's clear what they're trying to do.
This is why we love and hate you guys, WWE. Like what I'm listening to here is the reason why thankfully I don't watch every week. Otherwise, my brain would have exploded by now listening to what he's saying. Because instead of the obvious thing in this T Generation X, where Charlotte Flair is the one that could flip-flop beautifully back and forth, you're going to turn the ultimate underdog face character into a heel.
Well, see,
why does that make sense?
This is the reason that it might make sense.
God.
Because one, we've seen Charlotte turn on Becky Lynch already.
I know, and so it's expected because that's
what
she does.
But see, again, that's why you turn expectations on their head and you turn Becky heel because
how long has Becky been on WWE TV?
Since 20...
The main roster, on the main roster.
2014, 2015.
3 years, 4 years. Alright? 4 years does not make a shocking heel turn. Do you guys out there understand that?
No. It's not about the shocking heel turn. Let me guide you through this. Okay, Becky Lynch has finally being it looks like to her fans that Becky Lynch is finally getting a push for the title that she hasn't got since she was the main woman on SmackDown.
Okay.
And then she lost her title to Alexa Bliss. She was never technically heard from again in terms of the title picture.
Okay.
So this sudden turn to, now we got Becky Lynch as this, underdog challenger going for that title again. And then inserting Charlotte, who we all know is a favorite to win the title whenever she's in a title match. It kind of teases this dichotomy of, well, if Becky loses now, especially to her best friend, what do you think that's going to do to her psyche? She's finally in a place where she can be the champ that she felt like she deserved from the beginning. So if she doesn't get that, and it's her best friend that costs her the title, don't you think that might make her snap? I'm not saying it's perfect storytelling. I'm saying I can see where they're going with this.
And all I'm saying is that they portrayed Becky Lynch as, no matter what's going on, the one thing she has is her mental strength. That's Becky Lynch, right?
But if it's
firepower, mental strength.
But if it's her best friend that takes the title from Carmella, especially if Charlotte pulls her off of Carmella, right when the ref is about to count to 3, and then she pins her and wins the title.
All right.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
at least tease the possibility.
I can see that. I totally can, and I mean, based on what you just said, I'm sure that's what's going to happen. But I mean,
okay,
who am I to even argue?
Okay, who do you think's going to win?
I was going to say I thought that Charlotte Flair was going to win.
I think so too.
Because here's the thing.
Because they added her at the last second.
If Carmella somehow gets away from this triple threat match with that title, I would almost say it would have to be one of the like greatest SmackDown runs in a while.
Yeah, no, you're probably right.
And that's weird to say about the former valet of Enzo Amore and Big Cass.
I don't think she deserves that moniker, so I'm gonna go with Charlotte. You going with Carmella?
No, I said Charlotte's gonna win.
Okay. So we are in agreement. We're gonna go. We're going with Charlotte. Okay, let's move on because
Last three.
We're running out of time here.
Alexa Bliss, Ronda Rousey. I don't think we need to discuss this. I think Ronda Rousey wins because it's Ronda Rousey. It's her major pay-per-view debut, and WWE didn't spend all that money to have her lose. Unless it's to have Cyborg come interfere, and that's their next feud. Other than that, Rousey wins.
Or if it's somebody like one of the other, what's her, Shayna Baszler, who just comes on.
Okay, fine, but you know what I mean. Just like another MMA-er.
Yeah.
Like other than that, Ronda Rousey wins.
No, I understand. I'm going with Alexa Bliss because as much as it makes sense for Ronda Rousey to win this title, when has the WWE ever made sense about these kinds of things?
See, I think you're confused. If this made sense, Alexa Bliss would squash Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam because Alexa Bliss is a superior wrestler than Ronda Rousey. But, as Paulo said, when do things go regular? Which is why Ronda Rousey is going to win and she'll be champion.
See, because of what you just said about pushing Ronda Rousey, why would they go with the she doesn't know how to wrestle angle when she's proven that she can?
Exactly.
You know, over and over. Look, it would just. I think from just a revenge standpoint, Ronda Rousey winning would make a lot of sense, but it's not going to happen. I'm going with Alexa.
You think she has Nia Jax in her brain control still?
No. I think. You know what?
I didn't mean brain control.
You know what? I think somebody else comes in to interfere. I don't know who that's going to be.
Oh, Natalia, why are you so jealous?
Oh, there you go.
AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. So, back to my Miz and Daniel Bryan feud. Round 2 of that, obviously, like I said, in Royal Rumble. And Miz wins in the nefarious way that I mentioned, 20 minutes ago. And during that time at WrestleMania, I believe that Daniel Bryan beats Samoa Joe for the title because Samoa Joe is beating AJ Styles at SummerSlam. I know what you're saying, but Dave, WWE would make way more money if they just had AJ Styles wrestle Daniel Bryan after he wrestled The Miz. But you want to have some bullets in your back pocket for the future. And they just gave us Shinsuke and AJ, as bad as it was, we got it twice. Daniel Bryan's facing The Miz. Seth Rollins and Ziggler and McIntyre. We're getting phenomenal matches. We can't have Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles yet. That's got to be one of those things where Daniel Bryan's already champion, AJ Styles coming after him, and he's like, I've waited all my life to beat you. And then, money, money, money. But I think Samoa Joe.
I think it's good. I think AJ Styles retains, not because they want to start a feud with anybody else or whatever. I just think that Samoa Joe at this juncture doesn't deserve to win.
No, it's just payoff for being loyal. They haven't given him the title, any title really. He's just been squashed over and over again.
Huh? That kind of sounds like somebody that we've talked about
AJ.
before. Oh, it's Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't surprise me if AJ retained.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm just saying that for the best of the big picture, I'm going to pick Samoa Joe.
And I'm going to pick AJ Styles.
All right. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. So wrestling in the pool of Paul Heyman and WWE Universe fan tears. Because we get Brock and Roman for the 9th time.
Okay.
I know it's not the 9th time, but...
After everything we talked about in an earlier segment about Paul Heyman with, the misdirection that he could possibly have after the interview segment,
Mm-hmm.
after all of that, where do you think they're going to go with this?
I think Roman Reigns wins, but not for the reasons that I have previously said. I believe that Bobby Lashley is going to come out and he is going to lay out Roman Reigns, but Bobby Lashley's going to come out, I want to say, with Paul Heyman to help out Brock Lesnar. And then he's going to flatten Roman Reigns while the referee's knocked out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And as Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley kind of like are looking over Roman Reigns, kind of like each snickering, Bobby Lashley turns on Brock Lesnar, lays him out, pulls Roman Reigns' unconscious body over Brock Lesnar as Paul Heyman's waking up the referee. And 1, 2, 3, Roman Reigns wins. Bobby Lashley and Paul Heyman exit as the show goes to black with both of them unconscious.
So
with the announcers screaming, "What the hell just happened? Did Paul Heyman drop Brock before Brock dropped Heyman?"
are you saying that he's going to use Lashley as the advocate instead of Reigns?
Yes.
Ooh, I kind of like
And
that.
that's how he's going to demand a number one contenders match on Raw or something, because he helped him get there.
Ooh, I'm liking that better than anything I was thinking. Oh, man. Because what I was thinking was really just, the whole angle of Roman Reigns finally turning heel and becoming, Paul Heyman's new client. Like, that would have made a lot of sense. It would have ushered out Brock Lesnar in an interesting way. But I like that a lot better than anything.
Because it takes the mic away from Bobby Lashley, finally.
Yeah.
It still creates Roman Reigns, the sympathetic figure that got the championship, but not in a very upstanding way, so the fans can accept that.
Mm-hmm.
Brock can go his own way if he wants to, but if he doesn't, then all of a sudden you have a potential triple threat match for WrestleMania, leading up to WrestleMania for the Universal Championship that involves Lashley, Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and all being puppeteered by the master himself, Paul Heyman.
Okay. Having said all that, I'm going to go contrarian of what you just said. Brock Lesnar's going to win because Paul Heyman fooled everybody. And, he was actually always going to be Brock Lesnar's advocate because that's what Paul Heyman is. That's what Paul Heyman does. And we're going to have a longer reign for Brock Lesnar, even though I think a lot of people are expecting Reigns to win this title. I think that strikes the right chord in terms of what nobody wants. Because this is going to be the main event at SummerSlam, I guarantee it. And just like 2 years ago, when nobody got what they wanted with Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton, this is what we're going to get. Brock Lesnar retains, Paul Heyman fooled everybody, and everybody's going to leave with nasty tastes in their mouths.
Well, that's it. What do you think? Are we right? Are we wrong? Are we full of it? Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below on your own predictions. Or, like I said, if we're wrong or not. Until next time, David Kim, Paul Camacho. You've been watching SecondHand Sports.